So after a couple of tries now, I'm just gonna stick to photo booth and recording with my MacBook because it is just so freaking frustrating to always set your camera up, especially when you're like me and living somewhere else every couple of months. So back we are on track here with the love letter episodes, and today I pick off where I left off. When a kitten attacks your leg, are we allowed to be a bit evil for a good intent? In this episode, we learn about the sheer necessity of a certain level of evil in play in order to keep the ball of existence rolling. Unbound play is the language of existence, jumping at the edge between good and evil. So, imagine being a mouse. You search for food where you stumble across an interesting smell. That interesting smell activates your senses and the shock frightens you. And you freeze. The smell is intriguing as well as scary, but your unbound curiosity leads you to follow the road anyway. And what you find there, what a horror, it's a little kitten. Well, for you, it's not so little, it seems huge. This kitten with its lizard like eyes, she sees you and freezes too. But immediately after that, she jumps at you, plays with you with her sharp claws. You get dragged around. The claws penetrate your skin. It's a bloody hell and a mess. It's horror. A few seconds ago, you were innocently following your curiosities. Now you're at the blink of death. The funny thing is, the freaking kitten does not even eat you. She just killed you for her own pleasure. For her, it's just play. And when we see a kitten attack our legs as humans, we human things think it's cute. So, the cruel truth about this universe, and today you will learn why it is important to embrace unbound play, is that we must see beyond the human label of good and bad through perspective change. Because unbound play is the language of existence jumping at the edge between good and evil, perceived so, because that is just our interpretation of it. And unbound play can turn into immense softness while at the same time into bloody violence. And you see that the most violent humans on earth are 3-year-olds when they play together. And being soft and kind to each other is necessary, but love encompasses more than lovey dovey. Love is everything that this universe exists of, even the darkest parts. And we have those parts in us. It's part of us. It's part of how we grow up. And we learn how to be bad through play. Love, at the end, wants us to grow. To let us grow, nature reflected this dual nature. Nature is loving and caring, yet demands the best out of us at the same time. So we may forget this and introduce a paradigm shift of what we perceive as good and evil. When we see kids hurting each other, we just see that as bad. But if you look at nature, nature can be brutal and rough too. Just as a kitten that takes your leg, she doesn't think about winning. She's playful. She plays with her food. She also plays with her human fellas. We think it's cute. The mouse, on the other hand, experiences brutal horror. But it is our interpretation only that makes it good or bad. Because the kid, like the mouse itself, doesn't have the mental faculties to label it as good or bad. It's just experience. So, dancing on the edge of this unbound play, we grow through the challenge of others. If we embrace it positively, if we don't label it, if it is meant playful, we see growth as fun. When we play with others without the intent of hurting each other, even though it might happen sometimes, we give us the room to explore these boundaries. We give us the room to explore when it is enough for us. We give us the room to explore how far we can go. We give each other space to explore the edge. The edge is the space in between good and evil where we are forced to expand our comfort zone and grow. The edge is important to explore because where else are we allowed to be a bit evil for good intent? The expression necessary evil comes into play here. The sheer necessity of a certain level of evil in play to keep the ball rolling. Everything else would be like too soft otherwise. Just the whole existence would be too soft otherwise. So, in the end, the kitten doesn't even eat the mouse. There's no reason at all why the kitten started playing with the mouse except for fun itself. You embrace every new adventure in your life without any attachment to an outcome. Forget the outcome. Even when it is something very important, forget the outcome. And I know it is easier said than done. And if it is impossible for you to forget the outcome, it is of great importance that you sit down for a moment before this thing happens, whatever important event this is, and you go into meditation and you go into the worst case scenario and live the worst case scenario, experience the worst case scenario, and accept failure. Then, because then you release the attachment to the fear of not winning, and that makes you relaxed. That may actually help you to win in the end, but I can't guarantee that. What I can guarantee you is it will eliminate the anxiety, because surrendering is a great way to lift off your soul from suffering. Surrendering will get the desired result in the end because you stop anxious attachment. And all this will lead you to learn quicker in the end because, you're just in for the fun and you learn along the way. You don't attach your ego to it. And what I experienced personally in my journey of, training martial arts like jiu-jitsu is that most of the injuries that happen, when somebody's sparring with you or rolling, the most rigid people actually, they get the most injured. The most rigid people, not only physically but also competitively speaking, they just want to win for whatever reason. It's the ego. So then when you're in a very tight armbar and you just don't want to tap, and you let you go into the edge, so to say, but in a more negative sense, you just fucking lose it. It's not worth it, and it's not worth it. Just see it as play, as it is, and that's it. I hope this helped. Kiss kiss Tarkan. See you next episode. Bye bye.